Okay, so once again good afternoon everyone and welcome back to your biology class, and today I will complete the chapter chemical coordination and integration, right? So can you tell me in my previous class up to which portion I have described? Up to the testes or ovary? Please let me know. So this is the name of the chapter. Please tell me. I think up to the testes I have completed, right? Omrin, tell me. You were also present in the last class. Okay. Sal is typing. Okay. I'm waiting for that. Yes. But I didn't ask about the project. I was asking about the theory part. In my previous class, up to the testis portion, I have completed, right? That's what I was asking. Okay. That's what I was asking. So, in my previous class, I have completed up to the testes, and today I will continue with the last part, that is the ovary. Already you can see I have written on the board that for the ovary we have to know these 3 points: location, hormone and function. First I will discuss about the location. So what is the location of the testis? What is the location of the ovary? What is the number? One pair. That means two. Two ovaries can be found in female body. Drought, not dwarf condition. Drought condition. DROUGHT. So, as ovaries can be found in the female body and the number is one pair or two, and what is the location? It is located in the abdomen. Okay, so the location of the ovarian gland is, it is in the abdomen, and it is the main sex organ, or you can call it primary sex organ in case of females. And what are the function of this gland? That ovaries can produce ovum during the menstrual cycle. Already you have read the basic idea about the menstrual cycle in class 10, and again you will read it in detail in the class 12. So in the menstrual cycle, process of formation of ovum, you can say you will be able to find it out, the different steps of process of formation of ovum was going on. Okay, and besides that, two female hormones that can be produced from the ovary, these are estrogen and progesterone. So what are the hormones? Estrogen and progesterone. These two are the main ovarian hormone. That means these two hormones can be released from the ovary. And what is the nature of these two hormones? They are mainly steroid in nature. Okay. And ovary is composed of many ovarian follicles, and estrogen is synthesized and secreted mainly by the growing ovarian follicles. If you see the menstrual cycle properly, you will be able to find out different stages of development of ovarian follicles, and this estrogen can be produced from these ovarian follicles. And after ovulation, the mature follicle is converted into a structure. So what happens for the mature follicle is considered as Graafian follicle. Okay. So from the Graafian follicle, on the 14th day ovulation will take place, and the ovum will be released, ovum or egg will be released from the ovary. And after the releasing of ovum, what will happen to the remaining part of the Graafian follicle? This one will converted into a structure which is considered as corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. This part is considered as corpus luteum, and from this corpus luteum, progesterone hormone will be released mainly. So if from where these two hormones can be released, these two hormones will be released from different places. From the growing follicles we will get this estrogen, and after the release of the ovary from the corpus luteum we will get progesterone hormone. Now we have to know the function of these two hormones. So estrogen produce wide range of actions such as stimulation of growth and activities of female secondary sex characters. As you know that sex characters can be differentiated into primary sex organ and secondary sex organ, and primary sexual characters and secondary sexual characters. Primary sex organ was the testis and ovary, and their functions were the reproduction of the sperm and ovum. And sorry everyone. So what are the secondary sexual characters? That means development of ovarian follicles, appearance of female secondary sex characters like high pitch of voice, development of mammary gland, and estrogen also regulates the female sexual characters. Okay, so these are the basic functions of the estrogen. Now if I say about the progesterone, progesterone supports actually pregnancy. If a female will be pregnant, then progesterone level will be found at a constant level, okay, to maintain this pregnancy. So that is why progesterone is considered as pregnancy hormone. These questions may be also asked like this: which hormone is considered as pregnancy hormone? So answer will be progesterone. Now progesterone also acts on the mammary glands and stimulates the formation of alveoli, which is the sac-like structure which store milk and milk secretion. That means what is the another function of progesterone? First one was that progesterone was considered as pregnancy hormone as it is having main role in pregnancy, and another thing is that it stimulates the formation of alveoli. What is alveoli? One part you can find it in the lungs, and another type of sac-like structures that can be found in the mammary gland. And these alveoli, these sac-like structures can store milk, and it will help in the secretion of the milk. Okay, so this is all about the location and hormone and release from the ovary and their functions. Okay, so next part is that from different other organs some hormones can be released. Now we will see that from those different type of glands which type of hormones can be released. So first one we will see heart, kidney and gastrointestinal tract. Heart, kidney and GI tract. So first I will discuss about the heart, that as you know that heart is the so most importantly you know that endocrine glands release their hormones, but some tissues are there which are not actually endocrine glands, they also can secrete some hormones. Like this first example is the atrial wall of our heart secretes a very important peptide hormone, atrial natriuretic factor. So from the heart I am writing in short ANF. So from the heart a hormone can be released which is atrial natriuretic factor. Full form in short we can call it ANF. And what is the nature of the hormone? This is the peptide in nature. This hormone is peptide in nature. Now what is the function of the ANF? It helps in the decrease blood pressure. So it will decrease blood pressure. So we can write blood pressure in short BP. So it is having role in the role, that means which decrease the blood pressure. That means when blood pressure will be increased, ANF will be secreted which cause dilation of the blood vessel. Okay, you know, we know the meaning of constriction and dilation. If it is in very restricted area, that means if I see this is the constricted form, yeah, now if we keep like this is the dilated form. Okay, that means in relaxed state. So what it will do, it will help in the dilation of the blood vessels. It is so blood pressure, when the blood pressure will be increased, this particular hormone is secreted and which cause the dilation of the blood vessel, and ultimately what it will do, it will help in the reduction of the blood pressure. Okay, so now we have got that from heart which type of hormone can be released and what is the function of this particular hormone. Next one is kidney. So already you have read excretory system. So in the kidney, from the kidney part you can find some special type of cell, that is the juxtaglomerular cells. So from these juxtaglomerular cell a special type of hormone that can be produced which is called as erythropoietin. Okay, so from these juxtaglomerular cells, these special type of erythropoietin hormones will be released. Okay, and what is the function of this erythropoietin hormone? As their name suggests, erythropoietin, that means it stimulates the erythropoiesis. So what is the meaning of erythropoiesis? The process of formation of RBC or red blood cell is called as erythropoiesis. So what is erythropoiesis? The process of formation of red blood cells or RBC is considered as erythropoiesis, and this particular erythropoietin hormone helps in this process, erythropoiesis. Okay, and the last part is that gastrointestinal tract. So these endocrine cells are present in the GI tract or gastrointestinal tract, and from these mainly 4 types of peptide hormone can be released. So what are they? Gastrin, secretin, CCK and GIP. Now I will discuss about all 4. So first one is, what is the full form of CCK? Full form of CCK is cholecystokinin. What is the full form of CCK? Cholecystokinin. And what is the full form of GIP? Full form of GIP is gastric inhibitory peptide. I am repeating, what is the full form of GIP? Full form of GIP is gastroinhibitory peptide. So already from the previous part you have seen that both the ANF and erythropoietin both are peptide in nature. Now hormones which are released from the gastrointestinal tract, this one is also these hormones are also peptide in nature. Now we have to know about the function of all of them. Now if I start with the gastrin part, so gastrin acts on the, as from the name we can understand that gastrin will act on the gastric glands. Okay, gastrin will act on the gastric glands and it will stimulate the secretion of the hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. In from the alimentary canal, you know the function of this hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. So pepsinogen is the inactive form of hormone, so we have to convert it in active form, that means into pepsin, and who will help in this conversion? HCl or hydrochloric acid. And what is the role of hydrochloric acid? This helps in the killing of the bacteria. It will also helps in the digestion of the protein. Okay, it can be found in the stomach. So these two are very important for our digestion, and these two hormones, these two can be released from the gastrin. So sorry, these two things are regulated by the hormone which is name is gastrin. So I am repeating, gastrin will be released from the gastrin glands and that stimulates the secretion of the hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen, and already I have mentioned what are the functions of pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid. Now next hormone, that is secretin. So what is the function of secretin? That secretin acts on the exocrine pancreas. So pancreas is a heterocrine or mixed gland, so it is having a exocrine part and endocrine part. Particularly it will act on the exocrine pancreas, that means exocrine part of the pancreas, and it will stimulate the secretion of water and bicarbonate ions. So what is the function of secretin? It will act on the exocrine pancreas and it will stimulate the secretion of the water and bicarbonate ions. Third hormone is CCK. What is the full form of CCK? This is the cholecystokinin, and CCK can act on the both pancreas and gallbladder. I am repeating, CCK can act on the both the pancreas and gallbladder, and it also stimulates the secretion of pancreatic enzymes and bile juice respectively. As it is working on the pancreas and gallbladder, so their function is also related to the secretion of the pancreatic enzymes and bile juice. Okay, because from the gallbladder what can be released, and from the pancreas what can be released, already we have read that part. Okay, so that is the main function of the CCK. The last part is the GIP, and the full form is gastric inhibitory peptide. This inhibits the gastric secretion and motility. Okay, what is the function of the GIP? It inhibits the gastric secretion and motility, and several other endocrine tissues secrete hormones called growth factors, and these factors are essential for the normal growth of the tissues and for their regeneration and repairing. Okay, I am repeating that several other factors which are considered as growth factors, and these factors are essential for the normal growth of tissues and their repairing and regeneration. So with that we are completing the different hormones which can be released from some other parts except the endocrine glands. Okay, so only mechanism of hormone action part is left. I will complete it in my next class, and I hope with that we will complete our syllabus also. Okay, so for today that's it. Do you have any queries related to that part which I have discussed today? Have you understood? Okay, so thank you and bye bye.